Arsenal have gone ahead to hold Joao Cancelo transfer talks. Who has gone ahead to bring us the story? It's Fabrizio Romano, tier 1 transfer journalist, and you know when he speaks, he's really getting it from the source. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. It's the Arsenal News Show, talking transfers and so much more here onto this channel. Gabriel Magalhaes is another one that PSG are really trying to hijack from Arsenal, but it looks like he's so much solid onto a move to stay at Arsenal and obviously play the best of his football at the club that is based in North London. And lastly, this is really going to surprise you that Darren Baint, he played for Spurs, but he's a staunch supporter of Arsenal, has gone ahead and really said something that has really gone ahead to blow my mind away. Darren Baint is saying that he would start Lukaku ahead of Gabriel Jesus. Guys, how many of you think like Darren Baint? Lukaku, amongst all strikers, Lukaku, who has a very bad first touch. You know, he's not a clinical finisher, and you start him ahead of Gabriel Jesus. Oh my God, this has gone ahead to really confuse me totally. But we are going to discuss about that at length later as we grow deep into this video. Smash the like button, comment and share. Rokani David is my name, and guys, continue to subscribe because we want to hit 14,000 subscribers, and we are just some little subscribers away from hitting 14,000 subscribers on this channel. And guys, let's continue subscribing. How do you subscribe? Lower right bottom corner is the place it is. Place the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time you upload a video onto this channel. Now, Fabrizio Romano first told us the following about Joao Cancelo deal to Arsenal. He told us that Joao Cancelo will return to Man City and he will not stay at Bayern Munich. This is why Arsenal are well informed of the situation, but there is also Barcelona, as they are really interested in Joao Cancelo. So the Joao Cancelo situation is simple and known. He's not going to return to Man City. Pep Guardiola doesn't want him at City because he will disorganize his dressing room. And I think the board of Man City has always gone ahead to listen to Pep Guardiola for whichever player he wants out of the club. Obviously, the exit door is opened. Now, for Joao Cancelo, it was really abrupt for us to see it that he crossed to Bayern Munich in the January transfer window, and there he comes back from Bayern, where Bayern has gone ahead to tell Man City, we are not willing to keep Joao Cancelo, and then Man City are really willing to sell the player to any team that's going to get in the money that they want. They are calling in for £60 million for Joao Cancelo, and Arsenal is sold onto an idea of really bringing in the player. Now, when you look at the only team that can come in and cash in is Barcelona. They don't have the money to spend because they are really doing bad off as far as their financial situation is really concerned. They are so much into the violation of the financial fair play rules, and the only way they can get out of this mess is by selling players to raise close to 210 million euros, something that is not going to be easy, as even Lionel Messi has gone ahead to give them the ultimatum of him really coming to the club of Barcelona to sorting everything out, to see to it that he comes in through and obviously plays for the club to get them out of that mess. So I think the only destination left for Joao Cancelo is Arsenal, because Arsenal is the only team willing to cash in for the player, and they are really admirers of the player. Now, this is the gist of the matter, or the gist of the story, and it's obviously Fabrizio Romano again. He has said for Joao Cancelo, yes, they are interested. That is it. They had some contact and they have good relationship with these agents. So there was a conversation over the possibility to sign Joao Cancelo. Now, after Arsenal getting to know that Man City are not willing to keep the player, that is Joao Cancelo, then Bayern Munich, where he spent the last 6 months of the recently concluded season, also not willing to sign him, and Barcelona, that came in through the January transfer window to really beg to sign him on a free, and Man City said no, not having the financial muscle to come out and really pay pay out the £60 million to Man City, looks like the only team left is Arsenal. Now, looks like however much Pep Guardiola was really put on the spot by the board of Arsenal for really selling 2 players to Arsenal, that is Zinchenko and Jesus, to an extent that even they really lost the trophy to Arsenal. Now they have nothing to do because they don't want the player to return at Man City, and the only team that is willing to cash in is Arsenal to give them the amount of money that they want. With their sporting project, I think if at all they can get £60 million out of Joao Cancelo, that will be a very good return for them, because he has gone ahead to really turn John Stones into a right back and has gone ahead to do that job perfectly. There is Rico Lewis, there is Kyle Walker, and looks like he's not going to go all out to bring in a right back. The only player that he might be needing in is a left back, and it's said he is interested in Kientieni from Arsenal. So there are very many factors that could see this Joao Cancelo deal to Arsenal really happen in a nick of time, as Man City is really wanting not to see this lad return even at their training ground in the preseason. So Arsenal have gone ahead to hold talks with the agents of Joao Cancelo. They are really close and they really have some great connections together, and Arsenal are really pushing to get in Joao Cancelo. So it shows you that Arsenal have gone ahead to know the levels where they belong. You know, you should sign a player that even other elite teams are really interested in. That makes you a top-class team. Like last summer, their priority signing was Gabriel Jesus. Madrid were in for the player. Chelsea wanted to sign Gabriel Jesus. Juventus were in. So, elite teams were in for this player, meaning that he was really a very good player. And Arsenal winning that race, that is a very huge statement passed out that they are really moving in the right direction. Now, coming in here and obviously signing Declan Rice, a player that is wanted by Bayern Munich, Man United, you know, Man City and very many others. If Arsenal win that race, it will be another huge statement made by Mikel Arteta, and add to that, the team is moving in the right direction. Now, getting in Joao Cancelo and you sign him just shows you how good the Arsenal side is really getting, because attracting such quality players doesn't happen just in one day. It's something that really takes some time for a project to be so much convincing for a player like Joao Cancelo. Bayern Munich, you know, really love the player, but they cannot come out and really pay £60 million. Barcelona is another one. They would have gone ahead to cash in, but they don't have money, you know. They have the money to spend, but they don't want to violate the financial fair rule. So it shows you that if Arsenal's gone ahead to get in a player that Bayern Munich and Barcelona are really interested in, it shows you how good this player is. And he is not, it's not that he has gone ahead to fall down to the pecking order. It's all about him being impatient with Pep Guardiola because of fronting Rico Lewis ahead of him. So that is Joao Cancelo for you. Talks have been held by the agents of Joao Cancelo. Arsenal are really having good connections, and obviously Fabrizio Romano is going to have to confirm to us that they held a conversation over the possibility to sign Joao Cancelo. So they're having good relationship with the agent of Joao Cancelo, and obviously that means that there are players at Arsenal that are under the management of the agent of Joao Cancelo that is going to go ahead and really act as a boost to see to it that he really gets this out of the way, and a team called Arsenal is really wanting to get in Joao Cancelo. So let's leave that at that, and it's something that you have to go ahead and really contemplate about as we get into the Gabriel Magalhaes story. Now, after PSG attacking Arsenal to sign their captain Martin Odegaard, and Arsenal said Martin Odegaard is not for sale, they've gone ahead to make another attack onto the left-sided centre-back of Arsenal, Gabriel Magalhaes, that went ahead to play all 38 games of Arsenal this season in the Prem. Now, this story is coming in from Goal Brazil. It shows you that there is a lot of credibility in it, and we are being told by, I think this is Theo Fernandez, one of the journalists I got to know last summer when he was breaking the story of Anthony to Man United. So he comes again and is telling us that PSG are considering a move for Gabriel Magalhaes, but not made a final decision yet. Luis Campos likes the player, however, Gabriel wants to continue at Arsenal. Now, with them losing Sergio Ramos, obviously, they have to go ahead and really find in a replacement, and the replacement they've been eyeing is Gabriel Magalhaes. But that is a move that has not been well thought about. How do you go in for a player who has just gone ahead to sign a contract that is going to tie him at the club until 2027? Those are how many years from now? 4 years from now. So that is a very bad thought that Campos got in his head, that he can sign Gabriel Magalhaes. I understand they're looking in for a replacement of Sergio Ramos, and they are sold onto a project of getting in young players this time now, not so much famous, but having huge talent, so to it that they really build a new phase of a project. Remember, they've already got in Marco Asensio on a free from Real Madrid. He completed his medical yesterday. Manuel Ugarte is another one who passed his medical, and he has gone ahead to sign his papers as a new PSG player. So it shows you that they are in for players whose age is really still on their side and really talented. Ugarte, 21 years of age, coming in through to replace, I think, Marco Verratti, as Marco Verratti wants out of PSG. Then Marco Asensio comes in for, I think, Di Maria, because they never replaced Di Maria last season. So they are still trying to really adapt this project to see to it that they don't go in for those huge stars, but they go in for players that can come in through and obviously fit their system. But Gabriel Magalhaes is going nowhere. He's happy at Arsenal, and PSG have to look elsewhere. Maybe they'll go in for Disasi, that French centre back, you know, and other centre backs that are really good in the French league. I think that's where they can go to and go ahead and really sign those. But Gabriel Magalhaes is really sold onto an idea of staying at Arsenal. That's why he has just gone ahead to put pen to paper onto a new contract that is seeing him earning close to £130,000 a week at Arsenal. Let's go to Darren Bent on his assumption and thoughts that I've gone ahead to really say this opinion is really vague, and you're going to agree with me. He was on TalkSport and he was asked on if he would take Lukaku at Arsenal. He said, yes, without a doubt. No, I'm not getting rid of anyone, but I would have him. Do you know what? He would get us more goals than Jesus. What Jesus did at Arsenal this season was brilliant, but there were times he would frustrate me because he wasn't in the box enough. There were times the ball would flash across the box and no one was in there. He's on the edge of the box. But Lukaku, I know he's in there, and I would start Jesus on the left potentially and start Lukaku through the middle of the pitch. Guys, I don't know what's in your mind. For my case, this doesn't make sense for me. This doesn't make sense for me. Lukaku has gone ahead to fail to thrive in the Premier League. Lukaku found himself at Man United. He was bought at £75 million by Manchester United from Everton, and that was Jose Mourinho. That was the season, I think, of 2018, right? And he came 2017, I think, 2017-2018 season. And these were his numbers. He played 34 games and scored 16 goals and put up 7 assists. Have you heard? You know? And Jesus, his first debut season at Arsenal, remember, he never played almost half of the season. He played only 26 games. He scored 11 goals. And remember, Lukaku at Man United scored 16. And he has gone ahead to put up 6 assists. That is Jesus for you. And Lukaku again, the next season he played 32 games, scored 12. You know, that is him for you, Lukaku. And this season has gone ahead to play 25 games in Serie A 10 goals and 6 assists. Now, if you know what talent is all about, you cannot put Lukaku into the ilk of competing with Gabriel Jesus. I've all again went ahead to sound repetitive onto this issue. Guys, how many clear-cut chances has Gabriel Jesus missed? I saw a list of players that are going to have to miss huge chances in the Premier League. Haaland missed 29. There came in Rashford had like 21 misses. Ole Watkins had like 22. Is it Ivan Toney again in there for you, missing like 20 something? Now, out of the top 5 strikers that we're going to hate to miss huge chances, Jesus is not among. What does that show you? He doesn't get enough creation. That analogy he's trying to paint, that he's not always in the box. How many balls do Arsenal put in the box when Jesus is not there? Do you know how much Jesus helps Arsenal initiate that attack? One thing I can only agree with him is that Arsenal need a different kind of striker that is not like Gabriel Jesus. Like Jesus plays close to 60 minutes, then you get in a Dusan Vlahovic, or sometimes you start a Dusan Vlahovic and bring on Jesus later. I think that is called for at Arsenal because they need a different kind of striker altogether. But you can't tell me that amongst all strikers you're talking about Lukaku. If you're talking about Victor Osimhen, I would sit down with you on the same table, Mr. Darren Bent, and we'll discuss issues. Talking about Harry Kane, I would listen. Talking about Goncalo Ramos, I would listen. Talking about Vlahovic, I would listen. But Lukaku, who has one of the worst first touches I've seen, a player who single-handedly led to the knockout of his national team in the World Cup for missing 4-sitters in a full 90. You tell me that is better than Gabriel Jesus? That's out. That's out. And for your information, Lukaku aren't a player of Mikel Arteta. No. Arteta fronts talent, and obviously Lukaku is not a talented player. His talent is really liquidish, and I cannot come out here and really put him ahead of Jesus. So guys, your thoughts on to Arsenal holding Joao Cancelo transfer talks are welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Gabriel Magalhaes saying no to PSG interest? And lastly, do you agree with Darren Bent that you would start Lukaku ahead of Jesus as far as leading the line of Arsenal is concerned? I sign out for now. See you later. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. Rokani David remains my name. Ciao, ciao. See you in the next 1, 2, 3 hours from now.